All right, y'all. So now, since we've been talking about Madonna, let's talk about Stunta. So, I'm sure y'all all heard by now, but the Queen of Pop is coming back with a brand new album. Took a bunch of pictures where she looks youthful. She looks good. I know a lot of people was like, it's filter, it's this, it's that. I've seen Madonna without all the filters and stuff recently. Face card check. Like she's definitely looking youthful. She stopped looking like a damn blowfish with all the fillers and all the others. We did a whole story on uh Madonna and the whole filler situation and how since she's been with her new man, he's kind of been telling her, calamate on the fillers and and looking crazy. Maybe she's done better at letting it settle. So yeah, let's get into it. So it was announced earlier today. Well, yeah, we still got 5 minutes, almost midnight over here for me doing the show. But earlier today, this morning, and that would be the 18th of September, Thursday, she announced that she will return in 2026 with a new dance album. And this is according, a Rolling Stone could exclusively reveal, but it's been revealed everywhere. Even Warner Brothers revealed it. And not only that, speaking of Warner Brothers, she's reunited with the label that launched her superstar career, which would be Warner Records. Sorry. The new album, as Madonna has previously teased, is expected to be a follow up to her 2005 album, Confessions on a Dance Floor. In late 2024, she did reveal that she was back in the studio with Stuart Price and basically teased the fans with Confessions too. And I know she doesn't like to go backwards, but ma'am, there's only been so many genres you could tackle. And I feel like at this day and age, dance music is kind of becoming more of a thing. Like even Demi Lovato's about to release a dance record. So dance music, I mean, even though it hasn't gone anywhere, it is a big deal right now. And why not go into that? And I feel like maybe that's that retro that what is it, cyber futuristic section of the celebration tour may have kind of inspired her to get do a dance record. So they said, yeah, the new album, when it comes out, will mark Madonna's first album since 2019's Madam X. That will make 7 years since she's released a record. And that might be a record. That might be the longest she's taken to release an album. And you know what? In a way, I'm kind of glad that she's taken a bit of a break where she just took her time to want to put a record out rather than, oh, I need to go into the studio and I need to create a record and I need to feed the beast. Because I feel like, and I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when she left Warner Brothers and did that whole Rock Nation, um, not Rock Live Nation deal, and she was with Interscope, I feel like her music suffered. I feel like a lot of those people over there did not know what to do with her. They didn't know how to. They didn't know what her work ethic was or how she did things. And I feel like Warner understood her. She had a relationship with them. She's been with them since the beginning of her career. I think Sire Records was a part of Warner, if I'm not mistaken. So she has that rapport with them. They understand how she works. So for her going back home after almost 2 decades of not being over there with them, because I feel like the last record, if I'm not mistaken, she did with them was Confessions. So why not kind of give us a sequel of sorts? Then they also said just as notable as the new album is the fact that Madonna will be releasing it on Warner Records, where she spent the first 25 years of her career. And then she went on to say the following as I do a picture change. From being a struggling artist in New York City to signing a record deal to release just 3 singles, it seemed at the time my world would never be the same again. And in fact, that couldn't have been truer. This is what she said in a statement. Since the beginning, Warner Brothers has been a real partner with me. I'm happy to be reunited and look forward to the future, making music, doing the unexpected while perhaps provoking a few needed conversations. Well, you know she's gonna do that because even with the confessions on the dance floor, while we were dancing and having a good time, and she was experimenting with a lot of different, like it was French house and a lot of disco, some synths and all that synth pop, that all that mixed in there. The latter half of the record does go more into it takes more of a deeper turn, and it asks she gets more into spirituality, she talks about a lot of deeper things, and Madonna is not some surface pop star. She is someone who likes to provoke at times and to ask deep questions and provoke conversations and things of that nature. So we can't be surprised when if she's gonna if there's going to be layers added to, there's going to be a little more than just surface level dance music that a lot of artists tend to give. So Madonna signed her first label deal in 82 with, as I stated before, so I was correct, with Sire Records, a Warner subsidiary. While under the major label's umbrella, she released some of the biggest albums of her career, including 1985's Like a Virgin, 1989's Like a Prayer, and 1998's Ray of Light, and started an imprint of her own, Maverick Records, which we got a lot of artists from that because we got um who was on there? Alanis Morissette, which is like one of her biggest talents. We have The Prodigy, which, change your pitch up, smack my bitch up. I still live for that music video. I remember I had to stay up till I had to stay up and wait till midnight and sneak and watch it because they had titties and everything up in there. Yeah, it was controversial seeing videos like that in the 2000s. Like you wasn't seeing nudity and the vomit and all kind of naked body and all this other stuff. And sex, people having sex with like in this. I'm like, what? But yeah, they pushed for that, and as I guess being under Madonna, she was always pushing for artistic expression, and she really seemed like one of the rare artists who pushed her talent that was on her label and not making it all about her. Wasn't Michelle Cello on that label too? It's a couple of talents that she had on Maverick Records that I loved. I was trying to think of one that I can't remember all of them anyway, but if y'all remember, put it in the comments. So there was a Madonna's deal with Warner ended. Oh, it ended with 2008's Hard Candy. That was the last one. After she signed a 360 contract with Live Nation that included a 3-album deal with Interscope, a Universal Music Group subsidiary. Interscope has released Madonna's most recent LPs: 2012 MDNA, 2015's Rebel Heart, and 2019's Madam X. Which some people would say with MDNA, it was basically dated EDM. 2015's Rebel Heart, although it has some pretty good song on there, in my opinion, it was all over the place. It was just over. It was just. It was a bit bloated, in my opinion. And Madam X, kudos for reaching for the stars and really pushing with your artistic expression. But I feel like it's just not it's a record that it's like I guess I got to be burning some incense and I got to smoke some weed in order to you know get into it. I gotta get in the mood for Madam X. So in 2020, Madonna left Interscope, and the following year, she announced the first part of her plan to return to Warner Records. Most notably, the deal ensured that Madonna's catalog would exist in one place, allowing her to bring her 3 Interscope albums to Warner in 2025. So basically, all her previous 3 albums, MDNA, Rebel Heart, and Madam X, are now under the Warner imprint. So she's got all that. Now, I wonder if she owns her masters with all that. So yeah, so she tweeted out almost 2 decades later, and it feels like home with Warner Brothers. Back to music, back to the dance floor, back to where it all began. COADF Part 2, 2026 at Warner Records. I don't think that's the actual name of the album because damn, I hope I didn't delete it. Because there was somebody that was giving some inside tea. Hold on. Let me see if I wait, let me see if I still have it. Hopefully I do. Mm, mm, If I don't, it'll be a bummer. But yeah, I don't think I got it up in here. But they were like giving some behind the scenes tea on what the record sounds like. I've been hearing conflicting reports because one moment said like the first single sounds like it samples Rhythm as a Dancer. And then it was another rumor that was going around that said that she samples Chic's Dance, 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 Yowza, Yowza, Yowza. So I think like with They're probably trying like with the sequel of Confessions on the Dance Floor, where well, in the remember the first single "Hung Up" sampled "Gimme Gimme Gimme a Man After Midnight" by ABBA. So they're thinking like with the new single, they want to kind of be, oh, it's a sequel to it of sorts. So we do want to have one of those songs that samples a classic track like we did with the other thing. And remember, in the past, Madonna has worked with Nile Rodgers on some music. So even if she samples, I wonder if she actually called them up and was like, yeah, come in the studio, play bass or do whatever. And they worked it out that way. But I also want to read this one. So yeah, so Warner Records posted this. Welcome back home, Madonna. Or as I like to say, Madonna. And then they went and said, at Madonna isn't just an artist, she is the blueprint, the rule breaker, the ultimate cultural juggernaut. We are honored to welcome Madonna, the best selling female artist of all time with over 400 million albums sold, back home to Warner Records for her highly anticipated upcoming new dance album. The signing represents a historic full circle moment, one that brings her back to the label where it all began and reaffirms her unparalleled influence, setting the stage for an excited new era of creativity and impact. And of course, the one person said, "We fans are so happy to see that you welcome Madonna back home with open arms. Finally, a record company that will treat her as a priority, not a burden." Um, and as somebody said, "Make room, make some room, because the Queen of Pop is back." Okay, so this is great news, and I'm excited for it, but yeah, let's get through the rest of the article. So, of Rolling Stone's articles, remember they have the exclusiveness. Now, while no mention of new music was made at the time, it was revealed that Madonna's Warner return would involve a massive reissue campaign in 2022, coinciding with the 40th anniversary of the start of her recording career. She released a massive compilation, Finally Enough Love, featuring remixes of her 50 number one singles. This past July, she released Veronica Electronica, a Ray of Light remix album that had been shelved 27 years ago. But people also felt that y'all dropped the ball with Veronica Electronica because it felt like it was a bit tacked on. So people weren't really um liking the idea that um the basically the rollout of Veronica Electronica. Me personally, I was like, yeah, I was a little disappointed, but I already owned all the songs, so I didn't feel I wasn't that upset like everybody else was. Now the question remains, I'm really curious is like what influences they use, what type of music. Because remember when she did her what was it, her 50 question situation? I'm definitely curious um what because remember she said she wanted to do house music. So I'm curious as to what type of house music they're gonna be doing. So yeah, I'm excited for this new record. Congratulations, Donta. I'm really excited for the new music. Can't wait to see what you guys. And they also said, oh yeah, that was another thing too. They were saying that yeah, there are other collaborators that were on the record, but for the most part, the head producer is Stewart. And one of the things I've noticed about Stewart when he's worked with many people in the past, particularly Kylie Minogue, because I remember when Kylie Minogue did Aphrodite, the main producer wasn't necessarily Stuart Price. They had other people that came in. Stewart came in and basically steered the ship in the right direction. So he helped steer everything where it needed to be. And then producers aren't only just beat makers, even though Stewart is talented and he plays all kinds of instruments. He's a phenomenal DJ, Jacques Lucan and so many other, what does he call himself? Thin White Duke also. The same thing as David Bowie used to call himself. He calls he has different names for himself or whatever. So he's been making music and DJing. I remember I listened to a lot of his lay rhythm digital. I used to listen to a lot of Stewart stuff back in the day. And I thought he was French. But no, he's British when he called himself lay rhythm digital. So um I think maybe what he did was they had other people coming in with ideas and different sounds and may have worked with her and some stuff. I wonder if they even used some of the sessions from Max Martin. And then Stewart kind of just took over, excuse me, whatever they were working on. Because remember, Max worked with Taylor on the Life of a Showgirl record. So um I wonder if they took a lot of those sessions and brought that over. I hope whoever interviews her asks that question. What happened with those songs? Because at one point you were working with Max Martin. So, yeah, congratulations, Madonna. I can't wait to hear the new music. Hopefully, the single will be releasing by the end of the year. And then by 2026, we get the album, which is a bummer because this year was the 20th anniversary of Confessions on the Dance Floor. So it would have been smarter to release it this year. But I guess because they said that she was 99% done with the record, that they're still working on some things and it won't be ready in time for 2025. So, take your time if you need to perfect the record and make it what it is. But so I'm looking forward to hearing the album. I can't wait to see what this new era is gonna bring. Can't wait to see the videos. Can't wait to hear the music. And I'm starting to think like, you know what? When the album is released, I think we should do like a Donta Confessions 2 release party on this channel. Or maybe I'll have to create like what do you call, like a Patreon or something, so that way I could go over there and do, because I don't know if YouTube will flag it. We'll sit and listen to all the songs and we'll break it down and all the other stuff. All the Madonna fans will come up in here and we'll just kiki for about an hour or two. So I say all this to say, let me know if that's an idea I want to do. So, I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding Madonna getting back with Warner Brothers? Even though we already knew that this was cooking and in the works, she made it official today that she signed on the dotted line. She's back home with her former label, and word on the curb is they're pretty much happy with what they've heard so far with the new music. So, let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.